So basically, with this video, what I want to point out is cute
Have
winter
you all
boots
seen these cute winter boots on display all over the world, RN?
is disruption for uh, riots, basically. Over in Portland, things are really different. Lots of activism, lots of street closures, that sort
Have
of
you all
thing.
seen these cute winter boots on display?
Women of TikTok, especially conservative women, if you see what is happening right now with mass deportations, with rolling back civil rights, ending DEI in the federal government, declaring that there are only two genders, and that the government will tell you which gender you are, you would be foolish to think that we are not next. I mean, we are already impacted by the DEI freeze in the federal government. There was a big story yesterday about a Trumper who was pleading for Trump to understand the unintended consequences because his freeze on DEI hiring was costing his wife her job at the VA. You know, classic fuck around and find out. Like, oh, the Cheeto, he didn't mean us. That must have been an accident. He wasn't ever coming for us. This is what I've seen from so many women. Like, he's not coming for our basic rights. Y'all are being alarmist. You would be foolish to think that Project 2025, the men who wrote it, the ideology that is driving the current administration, is not gunning for women's basic rights. And I'm not talking about reproductive health care because we all know how that's gone. And you can say like, oh, I'm pro-life, so I'm in favor of, current proposed legislation where women could face the death penalty for seeking reproductive health care for any reason. Okay, fine. Let's say that you're fine with that. You're okay with that. That fits with your beliefs and worldview. You know what they're coming for next. Basic rights and privileges that we take for granted that did not exist for our mothers and grandmothers.
She's not
I'm
entirely
45,
wrong,
right?
right?
So in just my mother's generation, women could not have credit cards in their names. Our memory is so short, we forget it was not long ago that women couldn't hold property, couldn't have bank accounts, were functionally property of their husbands. Marital discipline, aka hitting your wife, was legal. And it was barely 100 years ago that we got the right to vote, that white women got the right to vote.
She's not
Our
wrong.
foremothers fought, were imprisoned, were bloodied and bruised, died for us to get our right to vote. And now there is open talk of rescinding that right. We already saw in the last election that men want to control their wives' votes, want to stand behind them in the voting booth.
Maybe not that.
Want to fill out their ballot for them at home. The next step that has been proposed, and again, used to be a very fringe conversation and is now being openly discussed, is basically what equates to the conservative Christian perspective of federal headship. The husband is the head of the household and he speaks for the whole household. A wife has no need of the vote if she has a husband.
Muslims are the same
He will
way.
represent all of the household.
Bet she loves Muslims.
That's where we're going. Y'all said Project 2025 was something that we were overreacting about.
Oh, wait,
and was
is that a
never going
Muslim
to be
scarf?
implemented. Who do you think is authoring those executive orders that are coming across the Cheetos desk for him to sign? Do you not know that Project 2025 has been rebranded America First and is an official policy, an official outlook of this administration? And they plan to implement all of it, not just the coming for your spicy romance novel.
So it's really interesting that she's wearing those guillotine hearing aids. Now, why I'm seeing those, earrings. Now, what really interests me about this is she's one of these women who like to talk about how the Christian things are bad. And when I see a guillotine and I think of Christians and I see a woman wearing whatever's around her neck there, as colorful as it is, I wonder if she knows about the ritual, the Hinduistic ritual of sati. Now, the only reason I heard about this is because I was learning colonialist history and these evil things that colonialists do. And they definitely did do horrible things in some cases. But they came across some places of India. Some places, of course, not all Christians are the same, not all Hindus are the same, but there was a funeral pyre that was getting prepared. They were going to throw a woman onto a funeral pyre. Her husband had died. They were going to burn him and throw her ass into the fire. So they're like, why would you do this? The colonists were like, why would you do this? And they said, that's just how things go here. Well, this was an English place now. So the English set up one of those head choperator things right next to the funeral pyre. They brought the woman over and they said, Whoever throws this woman into the fire, their head is going into one of these things next. So there, your colonialist power stood up for women, and nobody ever tells that story. But what also sucks is the things she said before this. A lot of the things she said were absolutely true, and that's one of the issue when it comes to the woke mind virus. You get a little bit of information that's true, then you get a whole bunch that you haven't checked. You have to check all of the information. You have to check all of the information, girl. But like, let's face it, Roe versus Wade should not have been overturned. You can say what you want, but overturning that puts some places into hell, into some absolute hell. There are some states that are so freaking backwards that would absolutely make it so that if your uncle put a seed in you that you would have to have the baby. Guys, do you want hell to be unleashed for entire families? Like generational trauma on the table? Like if we don't get this stuff figured out immediately, lightning freaking fast by overturning Roe versus Wade, there's a reason why people are getting crazy. It's because we literally put some of them in the position where their uncle could see and they couldn't do anything about them. We're setting up that we're setting up insanity there. Anyways, let's. I don't agree with this one, but let's keep listening to her.
And making them illegal. Not just taking away reproductive health care from women, including birth control. Not just making it legal to discriminate against women in the workplace. They're coming for very, very basic things like your right to have a bank account. They're coming for no-fault divorce. Look at the bill in Indiana. They're coming for your right to vote. They want to go back.
Why would anyone want to get rid of the no-fault divorce? Like, serious, guys. No-fault divorce is fine because women will weave webs just like businessmen will weave webs. Men will go out there with their business, and you know, women just love to get into the social stuff, and they will absolutely weave webs, and there won't be too many girls there to say, hey, is that a web you're weaving? And they'll be like, girl, you weave your web, show me how to weave mine. But the thing is, we don't need spiders all over the place. Let's just get back to being humans.
To a time when you are legal property of your husband. It's coming. It's coming unless you do something about it. Women of TikTok, especially conservative women, if you... Are you coming to the free?
Winter boots.
Why are cute winter boots trending? A cozy fashion statement? Or a clever way to get around censorship? Some see it as a creative, non-violent form of resistance. Algo speak. Code for discussing things like activism, immigration, or government policies without being flagged. Think about it. Social media typically...
Guys, what are you worried about being flagged for? Legitimately, what are you worried about being flagged for? I myself have been part of Anonymous during Project Chanology, and nothing terrifies normies more than showing up at your at your intended place of legal protest. But nothing terrifies the people that you're protesting more than showing up in a mask and then showing your face. Come out and play, ladies. Just like to all of the men that I've had men that have talked shit about me, and instead of being the typical white man who's like, oh, I'll just deal with that, no, I busted out the warrior mentality that the black neighborhoods taught me about, and if someone was talking shit, I tracked them down and did shit. Now if someone talks shit about me and they show up at my door, then I deal with that shit. Guys, if you got these ideas that are going out, come out and play. I mean, with your face. Just put your face on the frickin' video like that chick with the guillotine. At least she had the lady balls to do that. Don't be hiding. Come out and play.
Censors heavy political language, so users find subtle ways around them. Think about those Dior bags, the way to keep important conversations alive. Some critics argue it's being used to secretly coordinate protest actions, and maybe even violence. However,
why would you worry? Nobody cares about your damn protests. Nobody cares about you yourselves don't even want to protest because you know that nobody cares about your goddamn protests. Why would you suddenly be worried that people would suddenly know about these protests that nobody cares about and you yourself knows nobody cares about? Because you're because you got no frickin' spine, no honor legitimately, especially women. I know a lot of guys like this too, who are addicted to drugs, frequently lean on the fact that they're victimized. Like, come on, guys, get your lady balls out and do something about it. Don't just be victims.
Most evidence shows it's about dodging censorship, not creating chaos. So here's the genius of social media. Vague trends like this.
No, they're absolutely trying. This is chaos, 100%. I know chaos. I've been bitten by it. I rode atop of it. I know chaos. This is chaos. And by the way, when I say do something, I mean have conversations, difficult conversations, where you can bring up facts, bring the facts to the table, admit or try your facts against one each other, and admit your ideas might be wrong and your point of view might be wrong, and you should take someone else's ideas even if they are colonists, because remember, even a broken clock is right once or twice a day, and those colonists saved a woman from being thrown into a fire.
This city way too real. If we bump into each other
Fruit.
on the
Very fashionable.
Now these are nice fruit.
With long, thin laces.
I like the laces.
Backpack, backpack. Backpack, backpack.
Backpack.
On the backpack loaded up
Brrr.
with things and
Giddy!
Rain Boots recommendation for you, perfect for this rainy season.
Okay, alright, that wasn't too many. Let's try it, search one more time. Boots. Search
I'm not
highlight.
gonna say too much about cute
Winter
winter
boots.
boots, cute winter boots, cute winter boots. I'm seeing it all over the daggum place now. And I finally figured out exactly what the heck it means. And I'm just curious why a bunch of Karens that, if you opened up let's say a store in their neighborhood where you sold, I don't know, things that rhyme with stack. You pick up what I'm saying?
No.
They would probably be the first ones to call and turn you in. Like, hey, this new stack house down the street,
Steak?
they selling a lot of stack.
Steak.
Y'all should come bust them. Yet, they're trying to,
Weed?
help break ice with the cute winter boots thing. Like, come on. Get out of here.
Oh!
I'm all for the law. I kind of hate it sometimes, but let's be real here. Cute winter boots, cute winter boots, cute winter
So
boots.
cute
I'm seeing
winter
it all
boots
over the
is
daggum
what's
place
going on
now.
here.
And I finally figured out exactly what the heck it means. And
I'm legitimately just making this video to document this trend and show you exactly what is going on here. Because I've noticed, as someone who goes to protests with the mask on, once again, part of Chanology,
curious
I've been to protests with masks on.
Oh, and this.
And I've noticed that in high school, I used to notice that I could manipulate everyone in class to stop noticing their work and start goofing off a little bit or getting ready to go, because I felt bad for wanting to get ready to go. So I'd close my 5-star binder loudly and I would zip it up, and a lot of other people would. And I kind of got to know about the hive mind through 4chan. The hive mind, we got together when we went against the bad ideas of Scientology, and then in March, in the Ides of March, where we went against the bad ideas within our own institution. Yeah. Anyways, I'm definitely noticing a trend here, a hive mind trend from TikTok. And people don't even understand the hive mind. On TikTok, it's as if women have finally been able to communicate hyper intellectually, even when they're not there. This forum, this post board has changed communication for women drastically. And because of this, we now have a hive mind that can be manipulated by TikTok and other people in order to create things like civil unrest. But that's what's up, folks.